Have you ever been part of a big project where, by the time you finally launch, the world has already changed? It happens all the time. Traditional project management can sometimes feel like you're trying to navigate a new city with a map from 10 years ago. Well, that's exactly where Agile comes in. And it's so much more than a buzzword. It's a completely different way of thinking about how we get work done and deliver real value fast.
All right, before we jump in, just a quick heads up. This is Chapter 3 of our 5-chapter course on common project management methodologies, and it's brought to you by Virtualization Options LLC. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Agile, a topic that's seriously changing how modern teams operate.
So, what's on the docket? We're going to start with the big idea, the mindset shift behind Agile. Then we'll look at its founding document, the Agile Manifesto. After that, we'll get practical and break down two of the most popular frameworks, Scrum and Kanban. And to wrap it all up, we'll see how these ideas are breaking out of the tech world and changing the game for everyone.
Okay, let's get one thing straight right from the start. Agile is not just another checklist or a rigid process to follow. It's a philosophy. It's a whole new mindset that's built for a world where change is pretty much the only thing you can count on. It's all about being adaptable.
In the heart of this whole philosophy is something called the Agile Manifesto. You got to go back to 2001. A group of software developers got together because they were just fed up with the old, slow, top-down ways of doing things. What they came up with wasn't a rule book, but a simple, powerful guide that puts people and flexibility first, way ahead of rigid rules and mountains of paperwork.
And this quote from the manifesto just nails the whole vibe. We're uncovering better ways of developing by doing it and helping others do it. For a manager, that's huge. It means your job is to create a culture where people are always learning, always improving, and feel empowered to adapt as they go.
So a philosophy is nice, but how does it actually work in the real world? Well, it all boils down to 4 core values. Think of these as the North Star for any Agile team, guiding their decisions and keeping them focused on what really, truly matters. Let's dig in.
Okay, check out these first 2 values. They say we should value individuals and interactions over processes and tools, and working software over comprehensive documentation. Now, this over part is key. It doesn't mean processes and documentation are worthless, of course not. It just means that talented people talking to each other is more valuable, and actually delivering something that works is more valuable than spending forever writing about it.
And the last 2 values follow that exact same pattern. We value customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So instead of fighting over the fine print, you're working together towards a common goal. And maybe the most famous one, responding to change over following a plan. As a manager, this is about giving your team the freedom to pivot when they learn something new, instead of forcing them to stick to a plan that's already out of date. All right, so that's the why. But what about the how? How do you actually put this into practice? Well, the most popular way by far is a framework called Scrum. It gives you just enough structure to embrace all that change without letting things descend into total chaos.
In Scrum, you've got 3 main roles. First, the product owner. They're the voice of the customer, the one who decides what's most important to build next. Then you have the development team. These are the folks who actually do the work, and they're self-organizing. And finally, you've got the Scrum Master. Think of them as a coach, a facilitator who helps the team stay on track and clears any roadblocks out of their way.
The engine that drives Scrum is called a sprint. It's a short, repeatable cycle, usually 2 to 4 weeks long. Every sprint is like a mini project. You start by planning what you can get done. You have a quick daily meeting, a stand-up to stay in sync. Then, at the end, you have a sprint review to show off what you built. And maybe most importantly, you have a retrospective to talk about what went well and how you can get better next time. It's this constant loop of doing, learning, and improving.
So as a manager, why should you care? Well, the payoffs are huge. You get fast feedback, so you know if you're on the right track way sooner. You get total transparency into what's happening. Your teams feel empowered, which means they take more ownership, and you're constantly reducing risk and getting better, sprint after sprint.
But hey, Scrum isn't the only game in town. There's another really powerful method called Kanban. If Scrum is about working in these fixed, repeating cycles, Kanban is all about one thing: flow, creating a smooth, continuous flow of work.
The core idea of Kanban is super simple. Visualize your work. You literally put your tasks on a board and watch them move from one column to the next. But the secret sauce, the real magic of Kanban, is limiting your work in progress, or WIP. By saying, hey, we can only work on 3 things at a time, you actually stop bottlenecks from forming and, kind of magically, help the team get more done faster. So these are the core practices. You start by visualizing the workflow you have right now. No big changes needed. Then you put those WIP limits in place, you manage the flow to find and fix those bottlenecks, and you use constant feedback to get better. It's a much more evolutionary approach. You just start where you are and make small improvements over time.
So, this leads to the big question, right? For you as a manager, which one makes more sense for your team? Do you go with Scrum or do you go with Kanban?
Let's break it down. Scrum is usually a fantastic fit when you have a stable, dedicated team and a pretty clear roadmap of what you need to build. It gives you that predictable rhythm. Kanban, on the other hand, really shines when work is unpredictable. Think IT support or a maintenance team. It's also great for teams where people are shared across different projects because it's so flexible and you can just start with the process you already have.
But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be an either-or battle. A lot of teams are finding success with a hybrid called Scrumban. Basically, you take the roles and the regular meetings from Scrum, but you combine them with Kanban's laser focus on flow and limiting work in progress. It can be the best of both worlds.
Okay, I want you to zoom out with me for a second. We've been talking a lot about software because that's where Agile was born. But the ideas at its core, collaboration, fast feedback, adapting to change, those are universal. This isn't just a thing for your tech teams. This mindset can literally transform your entire organization. And this isn't just a theory, it's already happening. Marketing teams are running campaigns in short cycles, using data to see what works and quickly changing what doesn't. HR teams are using Kanban boards to make their hiring process way more efficient and transparent. Even schools are using these principles to create more hands-on, collaborative classrooms.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. Think beyond your IT department. Look at your marketing, your sales, your operations, even your strategic planning. Where is there a chance to embrace change, to deliver value faster, and to really empower your people to do their absolute best work? Which part of your organization is ready to be more agile?